I've distributed the copies of the role play and given you a little bit of time to look it over. Does anybody need extra time, or have you been able to review it?
Yeah.
Great.
Looks fine.
So, Chris, since you're in the hot seat, do you have any questions about the scenario? Is it pretty clear to you? Any concerns about it?
Well, it's pretty clear. I'm just wondering, it's slightly out of the ordinary of what, at least what I've seen so far in my fellowship. So I'm wondering if what we can do is still have someone with a PSA of about 11, sounds like a Gleason of 7, but move them a little bit earlier in the discussion, that is talking about potential treatment options, as opposed to, this scenario looks a little bit like he's already post-prostatectomy and we're talking about some other issues, but it seems like it might be a little bit more helpful for me if we just move it up before surgery, if that's okay.
So more of a scenario of the preoperative discussion as opposed to the recurrence discussion?
Sure, yeah, I think that would be better.
Okay, I think that's reasonable. I think what we'll do is just alter the scenario for him coming in just newly diagnosed.
Okay.
Keep all the other sort of background details about him and his family the same, and
Okay.
and then have it really be in the pre-treatment setting as opposed to the recurrent setting.
Great.
Good. With that in mind, can you just give me an idea of what your goals for the scenario are within the framework of sort of discussing prognosis and things?
Yeah. Well, you know, interesting. Kind of reviewing the discussing prognosis information that we just looked at. The thing that I've never done is to declare an agenda. It's something that seems just foreign to me. That so I think specifically focusing on that would be good. I think working on that.
Okay.
Since that happens at the beginning, it might be a good thing to
Great.
to work on.
Great. Yeah, I think that's it's a very important part of the session. It definitely provides a framework, and so I think that's great. Anything else in addition to that, or you want to just play it as it goes?
Well, I mean, the other thing is that asking open-ended questions. I know that I'm not good at asking open-ended questions. I know a lot of times I want a specific answer, and I want it relatively quickly, I think. So kind of working on open-ended questions, that is when to ask them, what type of questions, also would be helpful, I think.
No, I agree with you. I think in general as surgeons we ask very specific questions that we want an answer to as opposed to open-ended questions. So great. And I think as far as a starting place, we should basically start from the, if you agree, perhaps from the beginning when he's coming to meet you for the first time, and
Great.
especially because you do want to work on establishing the framework and the agenda. So, all right, great. I'm going to, if there are no other questions or concerns, I'm going to go speak to the actor briefly, and then we'll get started. Okay. Mark, I'm going to be facilitating this session. I wanted to thank you for participating, and just go over sort of the role play and which scenario we're going to do. We're going to start with the prostate surgical scenario, Larry Ford. Have you had a chance to review it? And
yes.
Do you have any questions about it?
This is the first time that I will be aware that I've got this prostate cancer.
Well, the scenario as it was written, it suggests that this is the first time you're aware that there's recurrence of your prostate cancer,
right.
that you've already had surgery, but you come in because of a rising PSA level. But the fellows brought up a good point that they felt that the scenario might be better for them if it was in the pre-treatment scenario, so you not having had any treatment, surgery or anything.
Right.
So we're going to adjust the scenario. So everything remains the same except you have an elevated PSA and you haven't been treated yet, and you've just been biopsied and diagnosed to have prostate cancer.
And I've been told that already?
Well, you're coming in to discuss things with your surgeon, to go over the results of the biopsy and to go over, sort of talk about what prostate cancer is and what the treatments are and what the role of surgery will be.
Okay.
So
Do I have a suspicion at all that I've got this?
yeah, you know you have prostate cancer. You got the results of your biopsy, and then the doctor, your doctor, referred you to the surgeon to
Right.
talk about potential surgical treatment and things like that. So this will be the first time you're meeting the surgeon, and your first chance to get some questions about what it means and what the options are. Okay? Do you have any questions about that?
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, great. If you don't have any other questions, the fellow will come out and bring you in as if you're, the patient going into the office.
All right.
All right, great.